Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
This is Atlantic Blowout on Atlantic Television Network. On this show, we review, analyze, and take expert opinion on trending stories that's making the round. My name is Chituga Diamond. I welcome you to this morning show this morning. I will take a look at critical issues that is wrecking the country. But first, I'd like to bring you this news that as mass resignation rocks the National Executive Committee on the People's Democratic Party, that's the PDP. The national chairman of the party, Uche Secondus, has alleged that a strong party chieftain is bent on hijacking the party structure. His special advisor on media, Ike Aboyi, made this known in a statement. The allegation against a faceless chieftain of the PDP is coming amidst a fresh crisis that hit the party as 7 members of its NEC resigned from their office on Tuesday. In their separate resignation, I beg your pardon, resignation letters, the party officials cited bad treatment by the PDP national chairman as the reason for their action. Meanwhile, a former governor of Bayelsa State and the lawmaker representing Bayelsa West Senatorial District, Siriaki Dixon, has defended the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Uche Secondus. Dixon alleged that some leaders of the opposition party are attacking Secondus, warning that the situation could spell doom for the PDP. He also called for an emergency meeting by the National Executive Council of the party. Well, that's another news making the round there. President Muhammadu Buhari directed the Inspector General of Police to deal with perpetrators of rape and other gender-based violence in the country. Now, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said this during the launch of the United States Agency for International Development Momentum Country and Global Leadership Initiative. The Vice President, who was represented at the event by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Farouk, said President Buhari has zero tolerance for rape and other gender-based violence. He also, government will continuously engage the police on the need to promptly address issues of gender violence. Okay, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Anchor on the facts, breaking news, and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
Many thanks for joining us. Now, doctors strike, the resident doctors strike returned to negotiation table. Buhari takes a step, and federal government begs NAD. Now, it is 4 days and counting since the National Association of Resident Doctors embarked on an indefinite strike. Probably as a response to the yearning of the association, the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Adeleke Mamora, on Tuesday has urged the leadership of NAD to come back to the negotiating table to address outstanding issues. The minister, who appealed to NAD at the opening ceremony of this year's annual general meeting and scientific conference of the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) LCT chapter in Abuja, said President Muhammadu Buhari was taking every necessary step to strengthen Nigeria's response to re-emerging infectious diseases through the provision of medical infrastructure. The appeal is coming following NAD nationwide indefinite strike, which started on Monday to press home the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding it entered into with the federal government in March 2021 on welfare and other issues that affect members. Now, Mamora said, I quote, "I encourage you to ensure industrial peace in the health sector so that citizens can reap maximum benefit from your efforts." In saying this, there can't be a better time and opportunity for me to appeal to doctors who are currently on strike. My appeal is that they return to the negotiating table so that whatever outstanding issues can be sorted out. That is my passionate appeal to all our colleagues. End of quote. Even in times of war, the combating at the end of the day once come to a round table for amicable result of issues. Now, I have with me in the studio here a colleague and, of course, our correspondent Femi Ogunkelede, who has been following the strike, following the resident doctors' strike from the day one to as he enters day 4, and he's going to throw more light into what he has been saying on the field. Hello, Femi. Thank you so much for coming on. Okay, bring us up to speed of what you've been experiencing on the field. You've been to hospitals to check in and following up to check if doctors in River State is also complying to the national directive of the association.
Okay, if you ask me, they are actually complying. I visited the River State University Teaching Hospital and I observed that the strike was on. The hospital was very empty. No doctors, no resident doctors. You can't find any of them. But they have skeletal work by some of their consultants. So we actually also visited the emergency ward. We discovered that it was empty. They are not receiving patients. They are not also attending to anyone. So the strike, if you ask me, is on. And if you may recall that the River State government had warned and threatened that it's going to invoke no work, no pay rule. And despite that rule, the strike was still on.
But you gave them like 48 hours to resume to come back to work or risk being sacked.
Yes, the 24 hours beginning from Tuesday. But believe you me, yesterday evening when I visited the River State University Teaching Hospital, the strike was on. No resident doctor. You know, resident doctors are the workforce. They are not on ground. Only consultants attending to patients, but they are not receiving patients anyway at the emergency ward.
Okay, did you are there patients in the ward, the hospitals you visited? Are there patients, or they've all discharged them, or they're just there living at the mercy of God and them, their family?
The patients are not much. They've actually discharged some patients,
Okay.
while some patients are there being attended to by their consultants. So resident doctors are nowhere to be found in this regard.
Okay, so which of the hospitals now are we talking about? The BMEH, the UPTH, and these are the two major hospitals.
Yes, earlier, the day one of that strike, I actually visited the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. And I observed that work was on. They did not comply to the...
That's on the first day?
The first day.
Okay.
And also visited the second day. I discovered that they are still working because they had told me that despite the fact that strike is on, they normally attend to their patients. They don't allow their patients to suffer. So they work 70% with their consultant doctors on ground.
Okay, with the doctors you've interacted with on the field, what actually is their response when you talk to them? Or do they refuse to listen to you or grant you interview?
Okay, at the River State University Teaching Hospital, we have their president, who, the Dr. George Eli, Dr. George Ella, who I called. It was unfortunate that wasn't able to grant me audience for an interview because he was engaged in meetings upon meetings concerning this strike.
Okay.
Like engaging with government, meetings upon meetings with some sectors and some bodies towards solving the situation. But it was unfortunate that he was not available for me to speak with.
Okay.
But you may recall that concerning that no work, no pay rule.
Rule for the state, River State governor.
It was a statement signed by the Secretary of the State Government, Tammy Danagogo. He warned that they shouldn't, River State Teaching Hospital resident doctors shouldn't embark on that strike, and they shouldn't go on CPAT strike because those who were under the federal government payroll were actually complying to this strike. He also said that River State government is not owing, and
yeah, I was going to come to that, but you and I are not in the best position to say whether or not they are being owed. So maybe by the time we're being joined by one of the register of the resident doctors on the show now, I have one guest coming after now. He's going to tell us whether or not River State government is owing them any salary or arrears as claimed, as alleged. All right. Okay, our correspondent Femi Ogunkelede, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed with what's happening on the field.
you're welcome, madam.
Okay, Atlantic Blowouts, we continue in just a moment. Don't go away. We'll be right back. And of course, my guests are very much around and standing by to throw more light into giving us updates on day 4 of the striking resident doctors. Don't go away.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
to have you back. Now, Momorad also on Tuesday reiterated the federal government's commitment to addressing emerging and re-emerging infectious disease, including efforts to expand healthcare coverage in Nigeria. Then President Muhammadu Buhari is taking all necessary steps to strengthen Nigeria's preparedness and response to emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases through the provision of medical infrastructure. And that's according to the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Adeleke Mamora. I have joining me in the studio here Dr. Omori Solis, a Senior Registrar, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecologist, University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. Thank you so much, Doc, for coming.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you. Okay, now we want to know the updates as day 4 into the strike, and we want you to tell us what's been going on, if you're having a good talk with the federal government, and what we need to know, and where this is taking us to.
Okay, thank you. Having come this long way into this strike action called by the NARD, it's pertinent to know that we have taken all necessary steps to bring the government to the talking table. And strike actions are usually a very painful decision to take. But it comes that it's a necessary one indeed at this moment. So far, so good. The reasons for the strike are everywhere on the media, but the government are very slow in response to the necessary things to do. We have signed a memorandum of action, actually, and the next thing is to implement. But it's been since January, since March, and nothing tangible has been achieved. Nothing tangible has been achieved. And that necessitated us starting the suspended strike action. And so far, so good. The strike on our part has been effective in terms of compliance, but unfortunately, the government have not really started the necessary talks that we think would make us to start to reconsider even holding a meeting to even suspend or call off the strike.
Well, the association had a meeting. That was on Tuesday last week. So, was it fruitful? Was it what was it about? What was at the end of the day?
The meeting, I wouldn't say it's a step in the right direction, but in the part of government, we have not seen sincerity, we have not seen commitment, and we have not seen purpose in terms of putting us in the right direction that we are going to do things. And there are some things that we really want to be set in place before we can say that these people are serious and they take the health of Nigerians seriously. So with respect to the meeting on Tuesday, what happens is that most times when we have meeting with the government officials, the leaders of the NARD will then deem it fit whether we should call a bigger meeting that involves all the leaders around the country before a decision can be taken. And in the wisdom of the leaders of the NARD, they did not think that that meeting was fruitful enough to take the next step in either suspending or calling off the strike.
Okay, but we're looking for, are you soon having a meeting, a dialogue meeting, or returning to the table
yes,
with the federal government today, tomorrow?
If the government calls us to the table, we will continue the discussion. We are very open to, we don't like strikes. We don't like strikes. There's never a time where we enjoy sitting at home while our patients, we also have relatives who are patients who suffer from these strikes, and we don't like strikes. We want action from the government.
So what kind of action, talking about you want action, what kind of action will excite you, your association? We know, yes, the salaries are old, arrears, and some other allowances. What can trigger you to say, okay, let's get back to work? Even if you don't have it up to 100, just one tangible thing that can give you excitement to go back to work.
Well, I will try to speak for majority of the residents. The actions that I think that the government can take to make the resident consider going back to work will be, first, consider the doctors that are being owed, because it is unheard of that doctors should even be owed. I wouldn't feel safe going to a doctor that is not earning a salary. So I think the first action is those doctors that are being owed. The reason why they are being owed is that there used to be a platform called the GiveSmith platform that has been scrapped, and then a new platform of payments actually initiated, which is the IPPIS platform. Now, what happens is that when you're employed, you get captured in the platform so that the money comes centrally. But unfortunately, a lot of doctors that have been employed for over a year are still hanging in there. They have not been captured into this platform. And we don't know the issues why the government is stalling, because the residency program is a time-bound program. You are not a permanent staff. You are in training. And unfortunately, if they can capture or make moves to capture these people, it will go a long way to initiate the reactions that will suspend the strike. Also, if they can initiate or give a tangible thing with respect to payment of the medical residency training backlogs, and also even medical residency training allowance of this year, it will go a long way to make NARD to reconsider issues of the house officers, our young doctors that are now centrally placed. If the issues with respect to the people that are old, and also the placement of these house officers and the issues of them being part or not being part of NARD are respected by the government, it will go a long way also to help us consider or come to talking with respect to what we have achieved. And most importantly, the issue for hazard allowance for health workers, which is totally abysmal at a rate of 5,000 naira to take a risk to get diseases that you take millions to treat, because the hazards are actually very real. Imagine facing Ebola, facing COVID-19 with a paltry sum of 5,000 naira. I mean, there's nowhere in the world that that should be smiled at. So I think if the government starts addressing this issue tangibly, it will go a long way. So every reasonable person will want to go back to work considering this.
Okay, now let's talk about the ultimatum that Rivers State Governor has given to striking doctors to return to work or be sacked. And because he also, in a speech, he said, because Rivers State, which spoke through the SSG, said that Rivers State government does not owe, and it's not owing any
of University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. And what is happening generally is unfortunate, but when a strike is called by the national body, you have to consider that there is nothing like sympathy. You are a member of the national body, and the issues we are negotiating for will be implemented by the different states. And if you are not part of the fight in the strike, you have to pay a huge penalty. So I don't think that the Rivers State government will be right to be threatening doctors with sack, and because history has shown that sacking doctors has never even given any positive impact in the society at large. However, these are some of the tools that government callously use to try to bring their workers back to the table. But I can't speak for the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital if they are being owed or not. But however, they have every right to be part of the strike because they are part of NARD.
Okay, let's take Dr. George Elana. He joins us via Zoom. And Dr. George is the president of NARD, now the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. Hello, Dr. George. Hello, Dr. George. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Can you hear me? Okay, Dr. George, tell us, is day 4 into your strike and into the strike, the resident doctors nationwide strike? And then we need for you to tell us what is the latest, the update, and bringing us up to speed with what your plans are. Are you returning to work soon, or you want to? Because we're also being told now that you've extended the strike to 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Thank you. Good morning once again, and good morning to Rivers State. Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning to
Nigeria.
the world.
I heard you as you are raising the issue of salaries. You know, whether Rivers State University Teaching Hospital resident doctors are owed salaries. Let me make it very crystal clear that the resident doctors of the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital are not owed salaries. We have been paid our salaries promptly and on time, and that must go into the records. And for this, we actually appreciate His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, Chief Basaye Sewonye Wike. However, the issues at the moment, based upon which we have joined the national strike, have nothing to do with salaries. These issues have to do with, one, domestication of the Medical Residency Training Act 2017, which is an act of parliament. Recall that the Medical Residency Training Act is the roadmap for the residency training program in Nigeria. The residency program is the platform that produces medical consultants, specialists for the various fields of medicine. And for us at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, this is very, very important, because right now, and gladly too, the state government has commenced the building of a cardiovascular and cancer center. That cancer center and cardiovascular center require top-class specialists. The Rivers State government, and to its credit, has commenced a renal center at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. This also requires top-class specialists. And we commend the government. You know, we are very happy with all of these developments. Right now, as we speak, there's massive infrastructural upgrade in
Dr. George, Dr. George, can you just say, because it's like you're deviating from the question I asked you, and which I know you've already given me an answer that Rivers State government is not owing resident doctors. And what about allowances? So what is the update right now for the strike? Now is day 4. Are you returning to work, or you are still going on the strike? You want to still comply to the directive of your national body, Dr. George?
All right, thank you very much. Yesterday, we had an emergency general meeting of the Congress, and the Congress clearly said that, clearly resolved that whereas engagement continue, we will remain on strike until these issues are resolved. But I must say that at the moment, engagements have commenced, you know, with officials of the Rivers State government, and we are hoping that all of this problem will soon be over.
The engagement have started with the Rivers State government or Rivers State chapter?
Sorry, come again.
You said engagement have started in the Rivers State chapter. Now I ask you again, Dr. George, I ask again, you're still complying to that. What happens after the 24-hour, which of course has expired, that the governor of Rivers State had given to doctors in Rivers State to resume work or be sacked, okay? And the national body, I'm sure they're aware of this, I don't know. But I want you to tell us, and just give us an information, an update that we need to hear. Because you also, the strike has been extended by 2 weeks. So what happens to the doctors in Rivers State and, of course, your colleagues nationwide?
The resident doctors at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital are still yearning for the domestication of the Medical Residency Training Act. They are still yearning for payment of COVID-19 inducement hazard allowance. They are still yearning that the government will implement the 2019 wage as soon as there's concrete evidence that these issues have been addressed. Of course, the resident doctors will return back to work.
Okay, Dr. George, are you aware that even some of your colleagues also that have spoken on this program also said that the doctors in Abia said are been owed 19 months salaries, and then because now you are also telling us that salary is not the issue for the strike. Maybe because you have been paid and your colleagues here are okay with that. And of course, some of your colleagues too in Imo State and other ones that have also been owed salaries, and which is one of the top priority and the issues why they have to go on strike. Are you aware that other doctors are being owed salary as well? And what would you have to say about that?
I'm aware that in Imo State, they are owed salaries, and that's the reason why the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, as a corporate entity, is actually on strike at this moment. It's part of the reasons why the national body is on strike and encouraging the Agda State government, Imo State government to pay their workers, the needed salary, because the worker deserves his wages.
All right, Dr. George. Okay, just a moment. I will get back to you on your final word on this. Okay. Dr. Solis, he said that the strike is not on because their own salary. Okay, you told me that, yes, you're not under deployment of Rivers State government, right? And because now Dr. George said that they are not also owed salary, but this is a national body, just like you said.
Yes.
So which way forward?
Okay, I think the way forward is that even as much as we are different entities in different states, we are a unified country that is guided by laws. And there are it's not just salaries that this whole thing is about. It's for us to get a working system. And the working system implies that when a law is passed, the states should adopt these laws and implement it. And these laws have to do with our residency training. And like he rightfully said, most of these states have not domesticated it. Most, if not all the states, have not domesticated it properly. The important thing is that when these laws are domesticated, it will help the ease with the residency training. And the way forward is for the states to try to domesticate these laws, and the states that are putting, should I say, Nigeria in bad light with owing doctors' salary. I don't even know how to say that. And this is 2021, where every doctor, I can speak correctly, every young doctor wants to leave Nigeria. And there are so many countries with open arms ready to accept these doctors. And if every doctor leaves Nigeria, we'll be in a terrible situation.
No,
so
we won't get.
Yes.
We don't want to get to that. Yes. We don't want to get to that point where every doctor will leave. So who takes care of sick people here? All right, yes. Dr. Solis. So many thanks for coming on the show this morning, and thank you so much. And I thank you, and I hope we'll have you on the show soonest.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Have a great day. Okay, Dr. George Ella. All right, thank you so much. Dr. George, thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you. But I'd like to get your last word now. I want to get your last word. And I ask you this question now to ask you. Are you returning to work? Are you going to return to work by the Rivers State Directive, or you still will adhere to the national directive?
We want to return to work, but we are appealing to the Rivers State government to domesticate the Medical Residency Training Act, pay us the COVID-19 inducement hazard allowance, implement the 20 CONMES wage adjusted CONMES 2019.
Okay, thank you, Dr. George Ella, President of Rivers State National. Just leave that. Thank you. All right, have yourself a great day. This is Atlantic Blowout on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be right back with another serious talking point on the show. Please stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
My amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation. For the Nigerian government to stop killing its people and
anchor on the facts, breaking news, and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
But I remain committed to the United Kingdom leaving.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation. For the Nigerian government to stop killing its people and
Many thanks for staying with us. Igbo youth asked IPOB to review lockdown threat in Southeast. Now, the Igbo youth have asked the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, to review its latest threat to lock down the Southeast region over Nnamdi Kanu's travel from August 9, saying that such directive could be counterproductive given the current harsh economic realities facing Ndibo and the entire nation. They stated that what Anibo needed at this time was a drive or agenda that could accelerate growth and development of the region, above others than anything that might escalate tension in the zone. The Igbo youth, under the edges of coalition of Southeast youth leaders, said that shutting down the region and its economic activities over Kanu's travel would do no good to anybody other than plunge the zone into more hardship. The group, in a statement by its President General Goodluck Ibeh and National Secretary Ken Sigwe, said while the association understand that right to self-determination is a priority of the late 1940s Universal Declaration of Human Rights, to which every human group is entitled and to which Nigeria is a signatory together with other instruments of international law like the African Human and People's Rights Banjul Declaration of 1981. The coalition does not see economic wisdom in shutting down business and work-related activities on Mondays beginning from August 9, 2021, which the group has labeled Ghost Mondays, as virtually over half the population of Southeast and, by extension, Ndibo depend on daily income to feed their families and the dependent ones. The Igbo group further said that the declaration by the IPOB was already unsettling the Southeast zone, saying we have observed a heavy deployment of security personnel to the Southeast region as a group with records and documentations of all the happenings in the region since the activities of the so-called, as the state, unknown gunmen. The association is aware of forced disappearance and killings of some innocent youth in the region in places like Olu, Owerri, and elsewhere. As a youth group, we are against any initiative that will endanger further the youth population of Southeast. I have joining me via Zoom now a legal expert, Barrister Jimmy Abia. He joins us via Zoom in Lagos. Hello, Barrister Jimmy. Hello, Jimmy. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Good morning.
A very good morning to you.
How are
good
you?
Morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, very quickly, what comes into your mind with the threat of IPOB to...
I can hear you very loud and clear. My pleasure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, tell us quickly, what comes into your mind as IPOB threatens to shut down the Southeast come August 9? How would you describe the threat? Hello.
Okay. Yes. I've been looking at that threat as first of all, there were things that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I can see you too. But it looks like the network on your side is not very stable. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
No, Jimmy, go on. I can hear. We can hear you. Go on. Just keep talking to us.
Okay, fine. So the thing is, there have been a lot of things that have happened in the Southeast and other parts of Nigeria in recent times that have led to agitations for self-determination. You can see that It is not only in the southeast that these agitations are on. You can see that even in the southwest there are agitations. Even in the south-south there are also groups that are agitating for self-determination. And even what you have in parts of the north is a form of agitation too, for several things. And everything boils down to governance. There has been an issue of governance, which a lot of people now think that the way to actually address some of these issues is to pull out of the country. But I don't think that is the best way. But if you take it down to what the IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra as a group have declared, saying that every Monday starting from August the 9th will be, a stay at home. You will see that the threat to lock down the southeast, who does it serve? Because that's the question I keep asking. Who does it serve? Because you find that these are same deprived people. The people of the southeast are the same people who have said that we are deprived, we are marginalized, we have not been taken care of, can also claim. But you can see that these agitations because the people of the zone have feel that they have not, got their fair share from the government. So having to lock down the zone, who will it serve? Because at the end of the day, the people who will suffer it are also the same people who eat from hand to mouth, who come out daily to make their daily income. So that's why I would think that even in agitating, even in pushing for secession or whatever agitation, whatever you want to agitate for, whoever is pushing for such moves, for such agitation, should ensure that the deprived people that he claims to be fighting for are not further deprived, are not further subjugated, are not further made to suffer because of this same agitation that is meant to solve, that is said to be able to solve their problems in the end.
Okay, Barrister Jimmy, and what you're trying to say now is that you are against the threats being issued by IPOB. Hello?
Well, it's not a question of. It's not. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So it is not a question of for or against. Yes. It is not a question of for or against. The issue here is that there are fundamentals, there are important things to be taken into consideration.
Like what?
If you want to, for instance, there was a time. Can you listen? Can you hear me?
Go on, Jimmy. I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So there are fundamental things to be taken into consideration. I am saying that the same deprived people, the same people you say they claim to be fighting for, are the same people who eat from hand to mouth. And I am saying that the best option for agitating for these people is not to further keep them at home on Mondays or indeed any day of the week. Of course, there were times that they championed. Of course, there were times that they championed the Biafra Remembrance Day on May 30th, which people had to stay at home. It is understandable. Indeed, people have clamored that day be declared a public holiday or work-free day by government. People have also, understood. People have also understood that there were certain things that happened at a time in the history of the country that need to be remembered. This is well taken. But for you now to say that because of one person, because the agitation is not about Nnamdi Kanu or any one person. The agitation is for the people of the zone. So you cannot keep the same people that are deprived that you are agitating for at home simply because you are agitating for one person. There should be better ways of doing it. I believe that there are better options, there are better ways to for the group to make their voices heard both nationally and internationally, rather than locking down the zone every Monday or indeed any day of the week. There are better ways of doing it.
Okay, Barrister, you are a lawmaker, or you're sorry, you're a legal practitioner, and there's something you said about yeah, okay, fine. There's something you said that they're also agitating that federal government should declare public holiday for Biafra Day. I don't understand. I don't know how that sounds. How does it sound to you that federal government should declare public holiday for Biafra Day?
Well, I don't know how Nigerians love to see things. You see, what the issue with Nigeria is that we love to throw things. We love to throw the baby away with the bathwater. We love to forget our past. But
who is the baby and the bathwater? Who is the baby?
Remember their past.
Okay, good.
Now, Nigeria had a war that seemed to have been painful. That seemed to have been a painful occurrence in the history, in the annals of our country. Now, we ought to remember that it is an event that has happened. It has become part of our history, which we cannot throw away. In the United States, there was a Black Remembrance Day. There was a Black Emancipation Day, for which Biden had to travel, and be a part of. Now, this is part of American history, and they still remember it. Till today, the Igbo landing is remembered in America. This was something that happened about 400 years ago. It is still remembered as an event in America and still being taught in the schools. The Black Remembrance Day, the Black Emancipation Day, is still being remembered and indeed has been declared a public holiday in the United States. They do not forget their past. They remember their past, and there was a speech that Biden made on that event when we went to be part of that event, and when it was declared a public holiday. He said that people who do not remember their past, who do not recall their past, will not be able to take hold and to control their future, to determine their future. And this is very important for Nigeria. There is nothing wrong with Nigeria remembering the people, the heroes, the persons that died during the war, the Nigeria-Biafra War, on May 30th, which was the day that war the Biafra was declared. There is no issue in having that day as a public holiday to remember. You recall that the June 12th was the day that the election that would have brought in MKO Abiola was held. For a number of years, for a good number of years, Nigeria living in denial until this particular government, for political reasons or for whatever reason, but creditably decided to declare that day a public holiday. And today we have it as a public holiday to remember democracy. So there is absolutely nothing wrong. Biafra, the bite of Biafra was there even before the Nigeria-Biafra war. So Biafra is not an anathema to mention in Nigeria. It's not an anathema. It's not an offense to mention in Nigeria. Indeed, you can have that day as a public holiday, but recreating it in however it suits you, so long as it is still acceptable to the people who are affected. It will make it it will make it an event that Nigerians will be able to have a day, to look back, to remember the events of the war, and then say never again. But once you keep living in denial, you will have people rising up, forgetting the past, and still seeking the same things, and still trying to do the same things that led to the war. So this is the reason why we need to have a remembrance, a national day of remembrance for that event.
Pastor Jimmy.
Yes.
We need to. I don't know who you are referring to as in we need to. But to me, I don't know. It seems like you are indirectly supporting the position of the IPOB. Is that correct? You're speaking for them.
Oh well. I am supporting. It's not. I think you are putting me on the spot.
I'm not. I'm taking a toll from what your analysis. I'm taking a toll from it.
No. This is not about support of the position. If the position I have expressed now tallies with the position of IPOB, so be it. If the position
so be it that you are support of them.
I'm coming. If the position I have expressed tallies with the position of the federal government or the state government, so be it. But I am simply expressing my opinion on this matter. It is not whether I align with this group or align with the other group. No, that's not the issue. I am simply expressing my opinion, which I think will be in the interest of all concerned. So if that day is declared a public holiday, it is not only in the interest of the IPOB. Don't forget that IPOB is just an organization. Not all Igbos are members of IPOB. Not all persons in Southeast are members of IPOB. Indeed, a greater majority of the people in the Southeast or from the Southeast do not belong to IPOB. So this is not just about IPOB. If IPOB have expressed their position, and their position, I'm not sure that IPOB has said that government should declare that day a public holiday. IPOB simply wants to remember that day. But I am saying that the government should also take up the gauntlet and also declare that day a public holiday. Because that is in the interest of the country. And that is in the interest of all concerned.
Are we talking about two countries in one country? Barrister, are we talking about two countries in one country declaring public holiday?
No. It's not a question of two countries in one country. It is a question of aligning interests. It is a question of remembering our past as a country. Nigeria is the country here. I'm not aware that another country has been created out of Nigeria. If you are aware of any, please, you can.
I'm not aware as well. I'm not aware, and I don't think we have it too.
So it's not a question of two countries in one. No, absolutely not. It is simply a question of how can Nigeria marry all the interests, all the interests of different groups within the country. And it's not even about the Southeast interest or Igbo interest or IPOB interest in this instance, because the war was not just fought by people of the Southeast. The war was fought by people not of the Southeast and people of the Southeast. It is true that it is estimated that up to 3 million people of the Southeast were killed in that war, and a lot were maimed.
But there is a celebration to commemorate the heroes already, where they honor the fallen heroes, which we see annually, where it will come to pay respects to the fallen heroes.
Yes, you see why.
So must it be Biafra war heroes that they have a specific celebration for them? Is that what you're saying?
You see why it is? Yes. You see why it is important. In America, there is Veterans Day. Veterans Day did not prevent the Black Emancipation Day. I don't know whether we get it. If you are remembering heroes of Nigeria, there are heroes of ECOMOG. ECOMOG in Liberia, ECOMOG in Sierra Leone, ECOMOG. Yeah, Nigeria has always had heroes. So if you are remembering our heroes, that is a separate thing. Now, the Remembrance Day of the Biafra Nigeria War is simply to remember the events of the war and say never again. That is what you're remembering. To remember, to go back in history. To remember that there was a time that we had issues that divided us, but at the end of the day, we settled it on a round table. And to tell ourselves that never again, that whenever we have issues, instead of going through the process of war to start the negotiation, we should get on the negotiating table, sit down, discuss as a people who want to live as a nation. That is what we should be reminding ourselves of.
Barrister.
Not about certain heroes who were in the military probably fought in ECOMOG, because everybody
Barrister Jimmy, it's like Jimmy, you're joining force for the declaration. You are joining force for the declaration of a Biafra Day. You know that many other tribes also suffered in the war. Why are other tribes not calling for a Biafra Day as you are proposing? We know people who have fought war in this country, and they don't have any specific day to celebrate them. We have Adakaboro, we have Ken Sarawiwa, and so many of them that, you know, for the sake of time. So well, your position in this case is very clear, right? Why are they not also calling for a Biafra Day for public just as you are doing?
Has Nigeria had any other civil war?
Are you praying for that? Are you praying for us to have? Don't forget, Mr. President said that, look, that those who are calling for war do not want to experience what they saw. So are you saying that? Are you calling for another war? Are you calling for war? Do you want that to happen?
No, not at all, please.
Okay, fine.
No, so, not at all, please. Let me not. No. Do not put words into my mouth.
I'm not. I'm just following what you're saying.
It is simply to remember Nigeria has not had 2 civil wars.
We don't want.
Nigeria doesn't have another one.
Okay.
And that is the reason why we should remember the one
Jerry.
we had, and not forget it in a hurry.
Okay.
To jump into another one.
Let's leave it at that. Now you are saying that it's well. One thing I got from you that you are not in support that Southeast should be shut down, just like the IPOB declared as a threatened that August 9. That you are not in support of that. That's one thing I know. Now, let me ask you this question because you seem to be one of the Ndibos in Lagos or where, as the case may be. What are the Ohanese Ndibo? What have they done about Nnamdi Kanu situation? Just like the Southwest also constituted a committee to look into Sunday Igboho's issue, where someone did say that shame to Ndibo for not defending their own. What has Ohanese Ndibo done about Kanu's issue up to date?
It is not. I think we actually do this a lot. I think the press actually pushes this a lot, and it's not in the interest of this country. When we do these comparisons. When we do this,
it's not the press now. No. It's not.
I'm coming.
I need to correct that impression. It's not the press.
I'm coming. When I say the press, I don't mean you.
Not me.
Can you get me?
I'm a body of the press as well.
I'm talking generally. No, I'm talking generally, please. I think these comparisons are not necessary. Every group, every organization, every affected person decides how he wants to do his thing, decides what is in the best interest, and how the method that he would, he would utilize. Don't forget that the last time this same person, Nnamdi Kanu, was arrested, it was the same Ohanese Southeast governors, Southeast senators. Indeed, a senator from the Southeast was the person who took him on bail. Indeed, a minister from the Southeast was the person who drove him out of detention. Indeed, he was seen in pictures with the senators from the Southeast, governors from the Southeast, and he had several meetings with them. Don't forget that. And in this instance also, the Ohanese has constituted a committee. I don't know if you know about that. The Ohanese constituted a committee to monitor the trial because already Nnamdi Kanu has his defense team. He has the group to defends him. He has Aloy Ejimako and Ifeanyi Ejiofor already, and a host of other lawyers who are already defending him. So you don't put all hands in the mouth.
Okay, Jerry, you've answered me. Thank you.
I'm not making a case for Ohanese because I'm not a member of Ohanese.
Thank you. You've just answered the question I asked you.
Take everything in context.
It's fine. You have just answered me. That's okay there. On a final note now, before we go, what's your take now? What advice are you giving to the IPOB in fighting their cause? What advice are you going to give to them, in your own opinion?
Oh, well, the same advice I will give to every group. ensure that you will win more empathy, you will win more support if you take a cause that is peaceful, a cause that takes cognizance of the people you are agitating for or you claim to be agitating for. I will advise them to change strategy. The strategy should not be a strategy of insults, abuses, declaring of lockdowns as many as you want, blocking roads. No, the strategy should be intellectual. The strategy should be a strategy that should look at all possible ways of resolving the issue. I mean, the strategy should not be Biafra or nothing. It could also...
Okay, thank you. Barrister Jimmy, thank you so much. Barrister Jimmy, we have okay, Barrister Jimmy Abia, our legal experts who joined us via Zoom. Thank you, Barrister Jimmy. It's still Atlantic Blowout on Atlantic Television Network. We'll go for a break and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
But I remain committed to the United Kingdom leaving.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation. For the Nigerian government to stop killing its people and
Glad to have you back. Team Nigeria was involved in 2 events at the ongoing Olympic Games earlier today. Among other things, let's find out how they fared. All right, our sports correspondent, Siri, over to you.
Well, Team Nigeria have crashed out of the women's 4x100 meters race at the ongoing Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. The quartet of 100 meters hurdler Tobi Amusa, Grace Wokocha, 400 meters specialist Patience Oku-George, and long jumper Ese Brume finished 6th with a timing of 43.25 seconds in heat 2 of the Tokyo 2020 event. Afterwards, Nigeria's only hope in the men's shot put at the Tokyo Olympic Games, Chukwuebuka Nekwechi, will only finish 12th in the early hours of today. Nekwechi throw of 19.74 meters was not good enough for a podium finish. The 28-year-old fouled in his opening throw, then threw 18.87 meters on his second attempt. His last throw was successful at 19.74 meters, but it was not good enough to make the last round. Ranked among the top 12 in the event before the games, Nekwechi made history on Tuesday, the 3rd of August 2021, when he became the first Nigerian to qualify for the final of the shot put at the Olympic Games. Tomorrow, Friday, the 6th of August 2021, the last of Nigeria's 5 wrestlers at the Games, Adijat Idris, will take to the mat to confront Ukraine's Livacha Oksana in the women's 500 kg freestyle wrestling. And now to some cheering news for Team Nigeria. Burkina Faso's Hughes Fabrice Zango made history today as he claimed his country's first ever medals in the men's triple jump. The 28-year-old, who also won bronze at the 2019 World Championship in Doha, jumped 17.47 meters to claim 3rd spot on the podium. And with Zango's medal for Burkina Faso, the African nation became the 100th country to win a medal in athletics at the Olympic Games. Pedro Ricardo of Portugal won gold with a jump of 17.98 meters to claim his first Olympic title, while China's Zhou Yamin took silver at Tokyo's Olympic Stadium with 17.57 meters. And in the relays, Great Britain's men 4x100 meters relay team reached Friday's final after coming second in the heat, while favorite United States of America crashed out of the competition. CJ Uja, Nathaniel Mitchell Blake, Richard Kirty, and Zanes Hughes finished in 38.02 seconds in the first heat, finishing second behind Jamaica. Yet the big shock came in the second heat as the United States of America team of Trevon Bromell, Fred Kelly, Ronnie Baker, and Craven Gillespie finished 6th, hampered by the series of bad exchanges that resulted in a time of 38.10 seconds, failing to make the finals. And for the ladies, Dina Asher-Smith came through unscathed in the heats as Great Britain set a new British record in the women's 4x100 meters relay earlier today. The sprint star, who had her Olympics wrecked by a hamstring injury, returned for the first time after failing to reach the 100 meters final and pulling out of the 200 meters. Asher-Smith was untroubled as she ran the 3rd leg with the team, also consisting of Asha Philip, Imani Lara Lasisco, and Darren Nieta, impressively winning their heat in 41.55 seconds, a new British record. The final takes place tomorrow, Friday, 6th of August 2021. Great Britain won bronze in the event, if you remember, in Rio 2016. And in basketball, the United States of America are true to the gold medal match of men's basketball at the ongoing Tokyo Olympic Games after beating Australia 97-78 in the semi-final. The Americans took everything the Boomers could throw at them, coming from 15 points down in the second quarter to win with ease in the end. Australia dominated much of the first half, but Team United States of America, the reigning Olympic champions, lifted both offensively and defensively in the second half, putting the game to bed with a 32-10 third quarter. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker were standouts for Team USA, recording 23 points and 20 points respectively, while Patty Mills had 15 points and 8 assists for Australia. In the gold medal match, Team USA will face either Slovenia or France, where they will be shooting for a 16-man gold medal and a 4th in a row. More heartbreak for the Australia, but they will still have a chance to win the first Olympic medal in the bronze medal encounter. And finally, in football, the 2020-2021 Nigeria Professional Football League season ends today with many high points to look forward to, even without the competition's title at stake. Akwa United Football Club of Uyo have won the title since March 37 after whipping Mountain of Fire Football Club Lagos 5-2 to move to 71 points for an unassailable 9-point lead. But much is still at stake with the qualification tickets for the 2021-2022 CAF Champions League and the 2021-2022 CAF Confederations Cup on the line, as well as relegation to the lower league. Second place, Nasarawa United. Third place, Kano Pillars. Fourth place, Rivers United. Fifth place, Eyimba International. And sixth place, Kwara United. All have a chance to clinch a continental ticket with one CAF league slot and one CAF Confederations Cup place at stake. At the end of the league table, while FC Fayoba and Adamawa United have already been relegated, two other clubs from the quartet of Warri Wolves, Sunshine Stars, Wiki Tourists, and Jigawa Golden Stars will join them to the lower division next season, making for an interesting final match day.
Wow, so finally, our disappointing show at the Olympics is almost over, Cyril.
Well, while it looks like a disaster for Team Nigeria at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, our medal haul at the games so far surpasses that of the previous two Olympic Games. But a lot of work, I think, has to be done to ensure that we do better in our subsequent outings.
Well, we pray so too. But that's the show for today. Thank you so much for joining us on this program. And also follow us on our social media handles. Facebook and YouTube is at Atlantic Television Network, and Instagram is at Atlantic TV Network. My name is Chituga. On behalf of the production crew, thank you for watching, and join us again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to keep to all COVID-19 protocols. Wash your hands regularly with water and soap and alcoholic-based hand sanitizer, and that way we're sure we'll see ourselves tomorrow. Have a great day, and bye for now.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on ATN.
But I remain committed to the United Kingdom leaving.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation for the Nigerian government to stop killing its people and
Anchor on the facts, breaking news and in-depth interviews on a wide range of topics.
Atlantic Television Network, home for in-depth reportage, facts, professionalism, all the news you need. Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network.
Atlantic Television Network, anchoring facts.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Telling him not to counterpunch.
Welcome to this Thursday's edition of Sports Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Joining us via Zoom is Faith Oluchi, media officer to Rivers Angels, that will be in action later today. But first, I'd like to introduce my in-house sports analyst, Merit. Nice to have you today.
Always nice to be here.
On this day where Rivers Angels have a date with history.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to see them win the qualifiers. The final match today, the final match comes up today against Hasakas Ladies of Japan over there in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. And we're looking for, they already made history, of course, getting into the Champions League proper, but we're looking forward to them lifting the silverware.
Well, it is the Olympics. We have just about 3 days to the end of the Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan. Team Nigeria have crashed out of the women's 4x100 meters race at the ongoing games. We'll bring you details of that and many more on the program today. But first, you're aware that Rivers Angels, that has qualified for the maiden CAF Champions League, is in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, to take on the Hasakas Ladies of Ghana in the final title match. That is just what it is, but both teams have qualified for the CAF, maiden CAF Champions League in the women category. And this is the first time we'll be having CAF ladies play in the Champions League. And it's good news that Rivers Angels have qualified, but they have to decide who is the champion, or did I say the champion in West Africa. Is it Hasakas Ladies of Ghana or Rivers Angels of Port Harcourt, Nigeria? We'll get details of that in a short while, because we'll be joined via Zoom by Faith Oluchi, media officer to Rivers Angels. Sports journalist here in Nigeria, covering up for the media officer to Rivers Angels. Welcome back, and it is Sports Talk here on Atlantic Television Network. We've just been joined via Zoom by Faith Oluchi, our sports journalist here in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, but covering up for the media officer to Rivers Angels in Abidjan. Faith, are you there? Faith, can you hear me? Faith, can you please unmute your system there, please? Faith, can you hear me now? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you very well. Good morning.
Nice to have you. Good morning to you, Faith. And you're looking really good in the last couple of days. Just few days in Abidjan, and you're glowing.
I mean, it's good one. When you're getting the result you want, it makes you to be happy. And when you're happy, I mean, it will always show on your body.
All right, that's Faith. And already the victory around Rivers Angel is showing on her. And I would like to say good morning. Sorry, you have to get you up early. What time is it now in Abidjan?
It's past 8 in Abidjan.
Okay, let's get to brass tacks. Rivers Angels, the girls, they are still in bed or they are up?
They are still in bed, relaxing. In an hour's time, they will get up and have their teamwork before going for their breakfast.
Okay, let's look at the girls. They have a task this evening, presumably by 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and they are up against the Hasakas ladies of Ghana. Before we get to the match proper, which comes up this evening, how motivated are these girls? I understand the Rivers State Sports Commissioner is representing His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State at Abidjan. He's been on ground in the last 48 hours.
Yes, the Honorable Commissioner for Sports in Rivers State, Honorable Bomoyayi, arrived Abidjan 2 days ago. He was with the team during the training, and he told them, look, that you just have to go out there today and play for pride. Everybody knows that there's this kind of rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana when it comes to football, both men and female, both men and women's football. So our pride is at stake as Nigerians in this game, and that is why the commissioner have charged the girls. You've gotten that ticket to Egypt, but one more thing is needed. You just have to play for pride. Let our pride not go down. We should just stand up and play against Hasaka ladies and take the trophy back to Nigeria. I mean, if we are playing against another country, okay, we'll say okay. But then when you're playing against your rival, knowing fully well there's a lot of bragging rights and our pride as Nigerians is at stake, the girls know that they just have to go there and win the trophy and take it back. He has told them that do your best, win the trophy, that he's waiting for them to reward them handsomely.
Well, talking about the governor, said to rewarding the girls handsomely if they bring back the title. Yes, they have qualified, so we expect that this reward will, because all that matters is the Maiden CAF Champions League for ladies that is coming up in Egypt in a couple of weeks' time. But first of all, let's look at yesterday when I called in, I noticed that the girls were dancing and singing that song again that has to do with 12 million naira. Can you let our viewers know about that elation with the girls yesterday evening?
Yeah, yesterday night they were so happy, they were excited, and they were already in the mood of celebration. I heard them singing 1 million. So excited yesterday, they were just singing 1 million. And the next after singing 1 million, they remember that governor is waiting for them. They start singing "Wiki they come." So the girls know what is waiting for them, and they're excited, and that is why they will go out there to do their best to bring the trophy back to Port Harcourt, Nigeria.
Well, let's stay away from that, and let's review the technical support this team has gotten. Coach Edwin Okon leading the technical crew there. What kind of technical support has these girls gotten in Abidjan so far?
Yeah, for every match they played here, we've always had video session of trying to analyze the matches they played. Not just when we analyze their own match that they played, the players themselves will see the faults they had in the match and they start picking out the faults. When we watch it together, the technical crew will tell them, okay, what do you think you didn't do right in this match? And they keep, they get technical crew ask and say, okay, this person that is playing your position, what are you supposed to do here if you are the one against this particular player? And the girls, I must give kudos to Rivers Rangers players. They're very intelligent players, not just trying to, they are not just there, they've imparted a lot in this game. Also, we must give kudos to Mr. Edred, who has been here with us also. So I think in all, Edwin O'Connor has shown that being Rivers Angels coach for years he deserves it. And see the results we are getting. A lot of people are commending Rivers Angels, commending Nigerian Women League because Rivers Angels is representing well. So for me, I think the technical crew led by Edwin O'Connor has done so well. They've achieved a lot. And if they get to win the trophy this evening, it will really boost their CV that indeed they are the best coaches in Nigeria.
We are talking about the technical crew. We spoke to the media officer of Hasaka Ladies of Ghana, and she was of the opinion that she believes that there will be no repeat of a double win over Hasaka Ladies, given that Rivers Angels beat them, I think, 2-0 in the first leg, and that is the return of the coach of Hasaka Ladies to get his own pound of flesh over Edwin Okon. Are the girls aware of this?
Yeah, of course they know. One thing that the technical crew kept ringing in their ears is that they should not underrate Hasaka's ladies. I know fully well that when match, and I know that playing today's match, they will certainly be in that. I listened to the Hasaka's ladies coach Yusuf Asigi when he spoke, and he said that it's not a revenge, but he knows he's going to win. Good enough, I was with the Black Queens coach Mercy Taga, yesterday, and she happens to be a coach in the Ghanaian League, Berry Ladies. She told me, I said that I was able to beat Hasaka Ladies throughout in the league. So it shows you how good this side is. And I don't think Rivers Angels will want to underrate Hasaka Ladies. As much as we know that we beat them in the first time we met in the group stage, every pride is at stake here, and it has buzzed. It now comes down to Nigeria against Ghana. It's more of Nigeria against Ghana than Rivers Angels against Hasaka's Ladies. So a lot of pride is at stake here, and I know that the girls will not want to let themselves down. They want to be the crowned West African Zombie champions today, and to have to do that, they need to work extra. Like I said, pride is at stake. Hasaka Ladies coach has said his own, but we know that it's not going to be an easy match today. Whatever they throw at Rivers Angels players, I'm sure they will be able to absorb it and get past them today.
Just one final question from me. Rivers Angel has a player that has won the Most Valuable Player award.
She scored 5 goals in this tournament. She's currently the highest goal scorer. For the 3 matches we played, she won the Woman of the Match award straight for those 3 matches. And I spoke to her personally yesterday, and she was telling me that she's going there to just play her game, that she knows that today's game, that a lot of players, the defenders will all be on her. And she said, good, it's even better if they are all on her, that it will give others the space to score the goal. It shows you that she has that mindset that even if they come on her, there's always an opportunity for her teammates to score. Marianne Eznagu has been a great revelation. I wouldn't be surprised if she's crowned the most valuable player in this tournament, overall most valuable player in this tournament, because when she moves with the ball, you see the way people applaud her, so winning the 3 straight Woman of the Match award, I think she deserves it. Come today, if Hasaka Ladies want to tie her to Kejano to play her normal ball, I think it will give opportunity to players like Vivian Ikechukwu to play, to give opportunity for Brume to play, and for me, players the opportunity to do the job, get the job done.
Well, Faith, I'd like to thank you very much, but just one last question before you go. What is the message from these girls to the people of Rivers State and to the people of Nigeria?
Yeah, their message has always been that they should keep on praying for them and that they should believe in them. Today is the overall final, and they know what is at stake. We want to thank all those that have been calling to encourage them. Yesterday, the Real Madrid Academy boss, Barrister Christopher Green, called to send his goodwill message. The chairperson of the NWFL, Aisha Falode, also called and to praise them and to charge them to do their best today. We really want to thank all Nigerians for their support, and hopefully, I believe that Rivers Angels players will not let them down come 7:30 p.m. tonight.
Well, we'd like to wish you from Atlantic Television Network a lot of luck tonight as you support the girls and, of course, ensure that the girls become champions of the Maiden Wafu B Championship that is ongoing in Abidjan. Of course, like we told you there, they have qualified. Thank you very much, Phil, for being part of us, and wish you the best of luck tonight.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Many thanks. And that's Faith Uluchi, who is standing in for the media officer to Rivers Angel in the faraway Ivory Coast. Merit, you listening to that conversation? What do you make of it? Rivers Angels, do you think they are fully prepared for tonight's encounter against Hasaka Ladies of Ghana?
From what we've seen from the team in the previous games, the last five or so games they've played, the team looks prepared. And from what we've also heard from Faith, they look prepared, they look well motivated, and they look
even relaxed as well.
If you saw the video clips from their previous games, during the games, and then after the games, they were in real high spirits. They know that they've made the record to be one amongst the first teams to appear at the first ever Women's Champions League. It would have been a disaster if there was no Nigerian representation there. Thankfully, the Rivers Angels were up to the task. They have been able to win every single game that they've played in the qualifiers, and we expect them to win today's game. Not because it's going to be easy. They're coming up against a tough Hazakas Ladies team that, from what Faith said, only lost once en route to winning the Cup in Ghana last year. So it's going to be a very tough match like it was in the first game. 2-0 victory in that first one. So they will be coming back for revenge. So we expect a tight fixture, but with all the motivation and with the quality in the side, how good the tactical bench is for Rivers Angels and how well motivated they are, I think they will get it over Hazakas Ladies.
Well, thank you. And back to the Olympic Games now. Team Nigeria have crashed out of the women's 4x100 meters race at the ongoing Tokyo Olympic Games. That relay race came up early hours of this morning. And it was an unusual relay race for Nigeria because we had a hurdler, somebody who does the 100 meters hurdle in a 100 meters relay event. We equally had a 400 meter specialist in a 100 meters event. As if that was not enough, we have a long jumper, in a 100 meters race. And at the end of the day, the quartet came up with a timing of 43.25 seconds in heat 2, only good enough to place them sixth. Why this unusual quartet in the relay event?
Really unusual quartet, and ever since we knew that this was going to be our fate at the relay 4x100 meter relays, I was looking keenly to see how it will pan out for the team, and not so bad if you consider the runners we had for the 4x100 meters, but then overall we did not qualify to the finals. We were faced with a situation, should I say, an unusual situation, extraordinary situation, where we had one of our athletes ruled ineligible to compete because she had not completed the mandatory 3 out of competition testing. A couple of days later, our star sprinter, Blessing Okagbari, at the games was provisionally suspended because of a banned substance was found in a trace of a sample taken for a test in Monaco. And then we were left with only just one 100-meter specialist, the person of Nzubechi Grace Nwokocha. That was the only 100-meter specialist we had in that team. The others were drafted in. We talked to the IOC, the Nigerian Sports Federation talked to the IOC, and the IOC was able to allow them to compete because they're athletes and they entered into the game just to make up for the missing numbers in the Nigeria women's relay team. And like you said, a 400-meter specialist, Patience Okon George, in that 100-meter race. If you're conversant with athletics at the Olympic Games or in whatever event, you understand that the 400-meter dash is very much different from the 100 meters dash. For the 400 meters, yes, there is a little bit of a mix of acceleration and endurance because it's lengthier. But for the 100 meters, it's all about how well you accelerate, how fast you are off the blocks, and how you pick up pace. So it was difficult. And for a hurdler, 100-meter hurdles, we know it's still the same distance, 100 meters, but then a hurdle race is different from just a sprint event. And for a long jumper, it's a Brume. Yes, you run before you take your jump, but it's nothing compared to the 100 meters. So that's why we got the result that we got. For the women, I think they did well, but for Nigeria as a team in the 100 meters, not good enough to get to the finals. Sixth
place position, not good enough at all to get to the final with the time of 43.25 seconds in heat 2. Team Nigeria 4x100 meters are definitely another sad one for Nigeria because a Nekweche's throw of 19.74 meters was not good enough for a podium finish. Going by his ranking, one would have thought that he will qualify.
Going by his ranking, I think he got what his ranking states. He's ranked in the top 12 and he finished 12th. so maybe that's the case for Nekwechi. But he He was before the finals. He was talking about being focused. At the end of the day, he committed a lot of fouls and he came up short by his own standards because his personal best is a mark of 21.80 meters, but in the race proper, he couldn't get anywhere close. 19 points. It's quite far off. So you don't expect to go into the final, to the podium with that kind of performance, knowing that you have an American, Ryan Krauser, who before the race was the world record holder in shot put, the 2016 champion in shot put, the Olympic record holder that came up with a first quality, and Enikochi just came up short.
Well, he came up short to getting at a podium finish, but he made history on Tuesday. That is the 3rd of August 2021, because tomorrow at the Olympic Games, it will be the last of Nigeria's wrestlers that will be in action. Adijat Idris will take to the mat to confront Ukraine's Livacha Oksana in the women's 50 kg freestyle wrestling. This is the last for Nigeria. Did we save it for the best? We might just come back with only a silver and a bronze medal.
We wait to see what happens. We were talking about, you've asked if we saved the best for last. It's difficult to answer that now because the best wrestler we had going to the Olympic Games lost in the very first game, and we don't know what will become of Adijat Idris. Yes, she has quite some quality. This is the 50 kg event, not as high up there as the other events from the wrestlers we've seen so far. But we wait to see. She could get it over Ukrainian counterpart and make it to the quarterfinals, but we wait to see. It's an event where when you think you got it, then you lost it. Like we've seen not just from Team Nigeria, but from other teams across the Olympic Games. For example, the men's 400-meter relay, from what we saw from Team USA failing to make the finals. We've seen a lot of these things happen. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, our eyes out for Aminat Idris, and we're hoping for the best in the wrestling tomorrow.
Well, at the Olympic Games, there are about 340 gold medals at stake. Nigeria has not had any bite of their 340 gold medal. And as well, there is about 339 silver medal. We've gotten one out of it, so there is still about 338 silver medal, which Nigeria may not get at. And the same thing is happening with the 339 bronze medal that is at stake at the Olympic Games. Only one has been taken by Nigeria, and so we hope that in this last event in wrestling, Adijat can help us to at least take one. We've taken a silver, we've taken a bronze. Let's see whether we can take a gold, but we have to get to the quarterfinals first.
We have to get to the quarterfinals, get to the semifinals, make it to the finals, and then beat your opponent to get the gold. We have a silver, we have a bronze. It would make sense if we got a gold. But then at this point, it might seem a little bit far-fetched for us to think about a gold medal.
Well, talking about Team Nigeria and, of course, what looks like a very, very disappointing appearance, let's see. We talked about Team Nigeria. We'll review their performances because if you remember, in London, there was no medal. In Brazil, we managed to get a bronze. Now we have a silver, and as well, we have a bronze medal. So it's better than the last two, but short on the expectations of Nigeria. Meanwhile, let's look at Team Africa on the program today. Burkina Faso's Hughes Fabrice Zango made history today as he claimed his country's first ever Olympic medal in the men's triple jump. 28 years of age, and we know him to be the 2018 World Championship and 19 World Championship winner in the jump, you remember, in Doha.
Yeah, he has. It's always nice when you see athletes improve on their performances, try to do better than they did before. When you win the World Championships in 2018, yes, we know the World Championship it's quite competitive because there are a lot up for stake, ranking points and prize money as well. But it's nothing compared to the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games is the pinnacle of it. And for Hughes, he is a very proud man right now because he has become the first Burkina Faso athlete to win a medal of any color at the Olympic Games. They've never won any medal since they started competing at the Olympics since 1988. They've never won any medal.
And besides that, he's gotten at the magical number of the 100 medal. 100 country in Africa to win a medal at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, the 100 countries.
In athletics especially.
To win an Olympic medal in athletics. It's, when it comes to athletics, a lot of countries stamp their name, they've stamped their authorities, the likes of the United States of America, China, Jamaica, and the rest of them. But to see this, there are now 100 nations who have won medals in athletics at the Olympic Games, and for Burkina Faso to be there finally in 20 since entering the games first in 1988. It's something special, and I believe Hughes will be treated like a national hero because first never follows. He is the first. He is the first. First in Burkina Faso, the 100 in athletics for an African country, and I think that is good. Definitely he's entered into history books. History will remember him. Let's get to the rest of the world and across the Atlantic, where we can stop by in Great Britain's men's 4x100 meters relay. They actually reached the final after coming second in the heat, and now it looks like the favorized United States of America had crashed out as well. Everybody had thought that the United States will pull something out of this with big names like Uja, Michael Blake, Richard Kifley, and of course Zaman Hughes finishing second in the first in the heat. And ordinarily, you think Jamaicans will do something better in this one as well, because it looks like one of the specialties. But it's Team Great Britain that had gotten it. Yeah, the Americans have. Should I say they've had not very good fortunes at the Olympic Games when it comes to the tracks. They expected to win the 100-meter finals, in fact, but they lost that. They lost out on it because Trayvon Bromell, I don't know if we have to pin it back to the injuries he suffered before the Olympic Games, but then he suffered the injuries. He came back in the trials in Oregon and he did well. Coming into the Olympic Games, he failed to make the finals, almost failed to make the semifinals even of the men's 100-meter dash, failed to make the finals, and now in 4x100 meters, considering the achievement of Fred Kerley in the finals of the men's 100 meters, he came second to the American Marcel Jacobs. So you expect a combination of Trayvon Bromell, Fred Kerley, and the rest in that pack to do very well in the 4x100 meters. It's something that we're used to seeing the Americans competing. But they didn't even come up in the first 4 places. They came up 6th. And it's an alarming performance. It's the combination of the disappointment that they faced on track at this Olympic Games. For the Great Britons, it's been a good one for them. Zanel Hughes was disqualified in the men's 200 finals, but thankfully he was able to come back in the 4x100 meters, and they finished in second place, clinching that tickets to the finals. So we wait to see what happens in the finals, but we will not be seeing an American team in the men's 4x100 meter finals. No American team in the men's 400 meters final, but the 4x100 meters relay has actually lived to billing because Dina Asher-Smith came through on skate in the heat as she set a new British record as well in the process. Yeah, Dina Asher-Smith, injury scare actually took her off the 100 meters. Took her out of the 200 meters where she was hoping to win a medal because that's really her specialty, the women's 200 meters dash. It was her specialty, but before the race, she had to pull out because she was injured. She injured her hamstring. Remarkably, she has returned just a couple of days later, returned in the women's 4x100 meter relay to compete in the semi-finals and take her country, the Great Britain, to the finals. It's something spectacular because if you look through her performance in that race, she did not seem like someone that had a niggling injury. It seems like the hamstring injury had suddenly disappeared. And we know that hamstring injuries are one of the most difficult to recover from. We saw what happened with Enoch Adegoke in the men's 100 meters finals. It has ruled out many top athletes at the Olympic Games so far. So for Dina Asher-Smith to get back to form, running in lap 3 of that 4x100 meter relay, it's really exciting to see. One of the exciting things was to see the Chinese women's relay team make it to the finals as well. We don't usually get to talk about the Chinese. It's usually the Great Britons, the Americans, and the Jamaicans when it comes to the relays, the sprint relays. But now we're seeing the Chinese, and they finished second with an impressive time of 42.82 seconds. That's quite impressive for the Chinese. We also saw a German team that is quite dominant, so it makes for an exciting finals. No country willing to just leave it down to the Americans or the Jamaicans anymore. Everybody is fighting for it, and it'll be really interesting to see how it goes. While Trevor Bromell has disappointed with the 4x100 meters for the men for United States of America, Asher-Smith is doing so well, not just qualifying for the final, but doing that with a new British record, and I think she's leading well for the British. Let's see what happens in the final. The final comes up tomorrow, and Great Britain, remember, won bronze at the event in Rio 2016. Can they take it a step or 2 steps higher? Tomorrow we'll decide, and of course do report that to you. Let's get to basketball. And Team USA are true to the gold medal match of the men's basketball at the ongoing Tokyo Olympic Games. This after beating Australia 97-78 in the semi-final. Australia, no doubt, one of the powerhouses in the basketball, but the Americans have seemed to be getting back their mojo
towards the latter stages of this competition?
This is a very agonizing defeat for the Boomers. They've been trying to get a medal at the Olympic Games for the past five Olympic appearances. They were very good in 2016 at the Rio Games, but they didn't get a medal. They've come into 2020 with the best form. Amongst the teams at the Olympic Games, they have the best form. And then second on that list of by form would be Slovenia. The Americans did not have the best of outings in the exhibition games and also at the Olympic Games where they lost their first game. And we thought maybe this would be the end of their dominance in the game. They've won the past 4 Olympic gold medals. And we thought maybe this would not happen in 2020, but they seem to have picked up the pace at the right time, because from what we've seen, they defeated the Australians by a large margin. Before the Olympic Games, you think it was going to be the other way around, the Australians defeating the Americans by a large margin, but Patty Mills and his men came up short, because we talked about how the stars for the Americans did not come to the party in the first game, but they've seemed to pick up now. We saw Kevin Durant putting in as much as 23 points, Devin Booker putting in as much as 20 points, Drew Holiday with 11 points, Chris Middleton, remember him from the Bucks team that just won the NBA championship, also put up 11 points as well. So the American team seems to have clicked at the right time, and they have another shot to win their 5th consecutive gold medal at the Olympic Games. For Australia, while they've lost, it's a semi-final loss, so they have the opportunity of taking bronze, at least a bronze medal. They were hoping for gold, but their first medal could just be bronze at the Olympic Games.
Australia never won a medal in the basketball at the Olympic Games, and they'll see whether they can get a bronze medal, because they will have to come up between the winner, the loser between Slovenia and France. Meanwhile, United States of America are waiting for the winner between Slovenia and France and see how they can get it. Will they be making their 16-man gold medal and a 4th in a row at the Olympic Games? All of that will answer in the next couple of hours from now. But I would like to wish them the best of luck. But still looking at football action at the Olympic Games, the women are in action. And as we speak now, the match is almost getting to the end of the first half. Australia losing again to the United States of America. They lost in basketball and in women's football bronze match. They are having to lose to the United States of America as well. It's 2-1 and it's nearly halftime.
They want to make it a double over the Australians. And not a very good day to be an Australian if you have an American friend. The United States of America were primed for gold going into the Olympic Games, world champions, defending champions at the Olympic Games. But we saw right from the very first game that they weren't up for it, unlike in men's basketball where they lost in the first game but seem to have picked up now. The women lost in the first game and have continued to put up disappointing performances by their own standards. Any other team would take it as a good performance, but for the United States of America's women's national team, it quite falls below par from what they're capable of doing. Now they finally got themselves into the 3rd place match, the bronze medal match, and they're defeating the Australians. I think they'll take it at the end of the day. Bronze is better than nothing, but by their standards, I don't think they'll be very happy. They'll be very excited to clinch bronze. 45
minutes in the match between Australia and United States of America, women's bronze medal match, and who gets it? Will it be United States of America or Australia? The next 45 minutes, maybe plus added time and maybe extra time as well. If not, penalties will decide who gets the bronze medal at that encounter in Tokyo, Japan. Let's stay away from the Olympic Games now. Like I told you, we have the Nigerian Professional Football League entering into the last day. That's match day 38. We already know that Aqua United Football Club of Uyo have already won. But Aqua United is still in the news as the league winds up today, because the race for who gets the golden boot, the top scorer in the league, is heating up. It's a player from Sunshine Stars, which is Nasarawa United is 2nd place on the table, up against another player from Aqua United, that has same number of goals. They're both of them on 18 goals so far.
They've been battling now they've been going head to head for the league title. Aqua United have won it, but they're still going head to head for who is the league's top marksman. And they have 18 goals apiece. Just talking about Charles Ashimene of Aqua United and Silas Wakwo of Nasarawa United. Silas Wakwo was actually on 18 goals before match day 37. Charles Ashimene was behind him in, I think, with 15 goals, scored a hat-trick in the last game, and he tied him for 18 goals. So it makes for a very exciting showing going forward into the last day. While Aqua United might not have anything at stake for the team, Charles Ashimene knows that a goal or more could get him across the line and hand him that golden boot. However, they could end up tied on goals, and both of them get to share the golden boot, like we saw as far back as in 2018, very closely in 2018, when we saw same players from Aqua United and Nasarawa United, Infomudo for Aqua United and Sadiq for Nasarawa United, sharing the top marksman prize, the golden boot award, with 10 goals apiece. This time it's 18 goals, far beyond, and it's one of the reasons why this NPFL season has been pretty exciting.
Well, talking about an exciting NPFL season 2021-2022, CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup places are at stake as the league comes to an end here in Nigeria. Of course, you know that the first place team and the second place in the league gets at the CAF Champions League. Then the third place team and the winner of the FA Cup gets the Confederations Cup ticket. So it means that the second, third place team is really hotly contested and is needed by either Kano Pillars, Rivers United, Enyimba International, and even Kwara United that is placed 6 can come second, can come third, and they go for the second CAF Champions League ticket, and of course the third, let's say the first Confederations Cup ticket, because the FA Cup winner gets the second Confederations Cup ticket.
It's very tight, and it's been a while since we've seen such a battle at the end of the last match day of the season here in the NPFL, and it's really tight. And Nasarawa United currently in second could lose their second spot if they get sloppy today. Kano Pillars could lose their third spot if they get sloppy today. Rivers United could get into the continent if they play very well on the road. Enyimba, of course, Kwara United, all of course. And the most exciting thing is all these teams are playing away from home, so there's no guaranteed 3 points. Rivers United away to Sunshine Stars, very tough fixtures because Sunshine Stars at the other end of the table are battling out for relegation. Kano Pillars away to Heartland FC. Heartland, well, quite settled in the table. They're not in such dire straits as Sunshine Stars, but still a difficult fixture for Kano Pillars. For Enyimba, they are playing away from home against Aqua Starlets, who really have nothing to play for. So you'd fancy Enyimba to get a positive result from this. But then they've not been very impressive, especially on the road. Even playing at home, they've dropped a lot of points from winning position. So our eyes are still out for that one. Kwara United are taking on Katsina United at home. Kwara United could leverage on home advantage, probably get all 3 points against Katsina United, who do not really have anything to play for. But for Nasarawa United, top fixture against Abia Warriors, who will not want to be embroiled in any form of relegation battle. So it's really tight. At the top, we're having a battle for the continent. At the bottom, we're having battle to escape relegation. We know 2 teams have already been condemned to relegation. That's Jigawa Golden Stars and Adamawa United. They've already been relegated, confirmed relegated to the NNL for next season. But 2 more slots remain open, and out of those 2 slots, we have 4 teams that could be relegated. 4 teams could qualify for the continent. 4 teams could be relegated. So it's really tight on the final match day.
Nasarawa United has been in second place position for most of the season. Do you see them sleeping on this last day?
I don't think they would. I don't think they would sleep. They're coming up against Abia Warriors. Abia Warriors have not been the most impressive team.
They're not threatened by relegation as well?
Yeah, they're not threatened by relegation. They have not been the most impressive team whether they play home or away. On the other hand, we know that Nasarawa United, they pick up points away from home. They are the second team that has picked up the most points away from home, second only to Aqua United, of course, and they know how to score goals. So I think the worst result they could get is a draw, but then this is the final match day. Surprises happen, and we'll be glad to see any surprises as long as it falls in our favor.
While talking about the final match day in the Nigerian Professional Football League, I'll return back to the top of the league. But first of all, let's look at the candidates for relegation. We already know that Adamawa United are already relegated, and FC Ifeanyi as well is already relegated. Who are the other 2 teams that would just might join Adamawa United and FC Ifeanyi to the lower rung of the league next season?
In our mix, we have Sunshine Stars, we have Warri Wolves, we have Wiki Tourists, we have Jigawa Golden Stars, we have Abia Warriors, and somehow we still have Heartland. Heartland is on 45 points. The team occupying the last relegation spot is on 42 points, which is Sunshine Stars. So if Sunshine Stars win and Heartland lose, then they do a little bit of mathematics concerning the goal difference. Heartland might just get dropped to the relegation waters. But realistically, I think the teams battling out for relegation now, Warri Wolves, most certainly will get relegated because of how poorly they've been this season. Sunshine Stars, they're playing against Rivers United.
Yeah, talking about Sunshine Stars and the Rivers United, that brings me to the chances of Rivers United they've had what looks to me like a topsy-turvy season. One day they are challenging for the first position. You remember at the beginning of the league, they were at the first position. Suddenly they dropped to second, they dropped to third, they came back to second, came back to third, they dropped to fourth, fifth, and in the last few match days, we've seen them struggle between the fourth position and the fifth position. What chances do they have? Because playing against Sunshine Stars, away, and Sunshine needs the points to escape, and they need the point to see whether they can come third, because that's the closest I think they can get is third place position. What are their chances given their very poor form? Remember, they lost their chance of going to the continent through the FA Cup. If they are qualified, if they have beaten Bayelsa United, they will have had a chance of going to the continent through the FA Cup. But now that chance is closed, and they lost their they lost their league game that could have taken them to the third place position. So what are their chances now to ensuring that at least they can get to the continent? Their counterpart, the Rivers Angels, already are at the continent.
It's a very difficult situation because, like you've pointed out, very big thing at stake for Rivers United. They want to get to the continent. They were on the continent last season at the CAF Confederations Cup. They want to do that again this season. They've already fallen below expectations for this season by not winning the league, first of all, by not qualifying for the Champions League, secondly, and already out of the continental sports, thirdly. So they're looking for a way to get back in. They're facing Sunshine Stars, who are looking for a way to get back out of the relegation waters, and Sunshine Stars have the home advantage. They're playing in Akure, which has proven to be a fault for them. They've not lost in recent times. They've not lost in the past 4 games. They've not lost any one at home. So it's going to be really difficult for Rivers United considering their away form.
Rivers United is going to be difficult, but in football, everything is possible. So we'd like to wish Rivers United the best of luck as they play their last game, match day 38. And that will be it for today. But if you're following the Olympic Games, at halftime between Australia and the United States of America, it's 3-1 in favor of the United States of America in that bronze medal match. That will be it. Thanks for joining us. You can as well follow us on our social media handle, Facebook, on YouTube. It is at Atlantic Television Network. And on Instagram, you can reach us at Atlantic TV Network. Enjoy the rest of the day by staying with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.